And welcome to the Bailey Pod. Your guest, actually my guest, Connor Dennis, and I'm your host, Tim Bailey. Connor, thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, man. Happy to be on here. First guy on here.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just dive into things, man. I know, you're coming off a big season last year. You put up over 1,700 yards passing.
Mm-hmm.
You've had some really great things happen to you your junior year. I know you were somewhat injured part of the season for your sophomore year. What are some of the things that you've learned over the last couple of years to better prepare you for this senior season that you're going into this year?
Obviously the speed of the game, size of players, going from like my freshman year sitting behind Benny, that really did help me a lot going into my sophomore year, just hearing the play calls, knowing each play, what everyone has to do. That helped me my sophomore year with getting the starting spot that year. Junior year, I felt more comfortable and just calmer in the pocket. My footwork too, my throws were better that year. So, this year, just putting all that together in one season should be good.
Sure. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you didn't do last year, you want to try to do this year. Again, big year for you, senior year, got a lot on the line. Again, you've done a lot of great things in the last 3 years. You've been on the varsity level. Speak to some of the things that you worked on during the offseason.
I would say obviously running the ball, training, working, getting my speed up, getting bigger, being able to take, some of those hits. If it's 4th and inches and I got to get the first down, then I'm going to use my feet. So I would say more running the ball this year. Still passing, but I'm trying to get that run game going this year for sure.
Okay. What would you consider yourself? A dual threat quarterback, just a pocket passer? Describe that.
I would say dual threat, little more passing, but definitely dual threat. I mean, last year, I got hurt my sophomore year. So me and Coach Catch Coach Catch really didn't want me to run as much. Me and him had a talk, and I think we're going to start running more with me. I mean, that might not be a lot, but, if the pass rush is coming in, I got to get a first down. Then I'm going to use my legs.
Sure. Do you feel that that running game of yours can be a great asset to the Titans offense this year?
No, for sure. I mean, anytime when a quarterback can use his feet, that keeps the defense on their toes because, what if they sit back in a coverage, all you can do is throw this and that. Well, if you're just going to sit back, then I'm going to take those yards. So
what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in 2023? I know you guys reload offensively. You got some good players coming back on defense, but let's just stay the offense here for a second here. With the departure of, a great running back in the young man Glover, who's going off and good luck to him. He's going down. He's down at LSU now. He's not playing football, but he's going to, pursue his academic career. I'm happy for that young man.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, the tight end who you lost last year. Those were two key players on that Boylan's offense. Speak to how you guys are looking to fill those gaps.
I mean, our juniors last year, Santana and Mason, definitely, I mean, those were big shoes to fill, but I think those guys can for sure fill those shoes. I mean, last year they did too, it wasn't just Mark, it wasn't just Mackay, like Don stepping in, Santana, third down throws, you need him. He's going to show up, make those plays. Mason, he's a big body, start using him more this year for sure. He's good on defense as well. So I think we definitely filled those shoes, but yeah, we'll miss them for sure.
Sure. They have the two phenomenal players.
Yeah.
For sure. You're going to miss them. Real quick here. Also too, talk a little bit about, last couple weeks in camp. I know you guys started camp a few weeks ago. You got a big game coming up against the E-Rabs. That ought to be definitely a treat for you guys to, see where you're at, in terms of, your offense and your defense and also two special teams as a whole. Speak to, how's camp been? I mean, you guys have a successful camp. Were there a lot of things that you guys got cleaned up offensively, defensively? Speak to that.
I would say the biggest part is welcoming the juniors in or the new guys to the team. You have to be more welcoming and, some years we didn't have that. Some years we did. And usually when you have that, it's definitely going to build a good vibe around the team, chemistry, and you're just going to, those 3 weeks are going to be the best 3 weeks of the season. I mean, it really flew by, but you just got to trust the guy next to you every snap. And definitely, I would say welcoming those young guys in is a big part to having a successful year.
Sure, sure. How young are you guys?
This year we got about 22 seniors, 21, somewhere in there. And juniors, I would say around 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what
So,
are your numbers like? What are your numbers like this year compared to
like
last year?
last year we were like lower 40s to mid 40s. This year we're 38 to 40 range.
Do
So
you feel
losing a
like you
little bit.
guys have? Do you feel like you guys have the proper depth that you need? You do play a sport that's a violent sport in the game of football. How do you guys feel about your depth this year offensively?
I think we got good depth. I mean, against East this week, we've had some injuries and guys out. So this week we'll see if they can step in and fill those shoes. I mean, I think they can do it, but it's just going to be a big spot to fill, So we'll see.
Sure, sure. Let's shift gears here for a second. Last year, reigning MVP of the Nick 10 Conference. Speak to that. What did that mean to you, making that MVP honor?
I mean, obviously, it's a big award. I mean, my mind was I'm more of a playoff guy. Like, yeah, winning the conference is cool and whatever, but what matters the most is a state championship. So, I mean, yeah, it was definitely cool getting MVP, but I mean, my goal is to take the team as far as I can and see what happens. So, yeah, no, it was cool though, and obviously it shows what kind of work you put in. So, yeah, definitely glad I got it.
I can't let you off my show without asking these types of questions. But are you kind of chasing that MVP again this year? Or is it at the back of your mind, or is it at the top of your brain?
I would say, honestly, at the back of my mind. I mean, I know there's going to be guys who are going to be trying to get it this year, which is going to fuel me more to go and get it more. And I know it's up for grabs. It's not mine. Like, I'm going to have to go and get it and earn it because I know everyone's going to be out there trying to get that. But like I said, I mean, what matters the most is, are you the last team to play? You know what I mean? Like, who makes it the furthest? Because that's really what matters the most. So that's kind of been on my mind more than that. Is definitely making a run at it this year. With us being in 4A, you got a little better of a shot to make a run. I think we're ranked like 5 in the state for 4A. So, but there's still some good 4A teams, but
sure,
definitely this year, and I think we can make a little push here.
You just mentioned something here. You talked about you guys being 4A and being 5th ranked. What does that mean to you personally, and then also too, what does that mean to your teammates?
I mean, that definitely shows, like, we got some guys on the team. I mean, being ranked 5th, it's pretty good, but I would say personally, it shows, like, how we roll. Like, I don't know, like, I think it's good to hear and know, but I don't think we really think about it every day.
Sure.
So, yeah.
How has Coach Cacciatore handled that with you guys? I mean, I get it. You guys are teenage athletes. You ranked in the state. That means a lot. And for some guys that are first time on the varsity level, sometimes that can be a little bit inundating to a lot of athletes. But how has Coach Cacciatore helped you guys handle, this honor of being 5th in the state?
I mean, honestly, he's just more of, take it week by week, which I think everybody on that team or our team this year is, take it week by week. Don't look ahead. Don't look at the rankings, because honestly, the rankings don't really mean anything, because what means the most is what they say at the end of the year. So I would say no one on our team really cares about what they say now. That's what they say at the end.
Sure. So tell me a little bit about, I know you've, if I'm not mistaken, you've verbally committed to Minnesota State and Cato. How did this come about?
Well, so I was talking to their coach, and he said they have 2 spots they're going to take for my class. One spot was taken mid-July, and then I took the other spot towards the end of July. And then 2 weeks ago, he was on the phone with me. You know, he's like, he really wants me up there. He just called me and said, you know, we got to figure out the money part because we got to move money around, this and that. So once I kind of find the money out, then I can make my final decision. But as of right now, I'm still open about, you know, offers and stuff. So
Sure. What were some other opportunities that came to your dinner table this summer?
So Mankato, and then Roosevelt was my other one right now, and they're going to Division II, I think.
Okay.
So I know Harris is on there and Jamar.
Okay, yeah, your boys, your guys. So talk a little bit about, you know, you just talked a little bit about Minnesota State and being a recruit for them. You know, if anybody, another school comes knocking or bigger schools come knocking, I mean, what are some of the things what are your options? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I would say if they're bigger schools, I mean, it'd probably be the FCS, you know, Division Ones, like the Valley teams. You know, like if you make a push in the playoffs, some of those schools, like a Western Illinois, Eastern Illinois, those schools will offer you, you know, just because they see what you got towards the end of the year. But those would be the bigger schools. And then I've been talking to a lot of Division Twos, so in that Northern Sun Conference. So, like, I mean, Upper Iowa was in that one.
Okay.
I don't know if they left, but I mean, there's a lot of schools that I've been talking to in that conference. So we'll just have to see.
Sure, just have to wait it out. You just got to go out and ball out, right? You know,
and on my mind is high school football right now.
Exactly, that's where it should be, and keep
Having
it there.
fun.
Yep, it's what it's all about at the high school level. When you get to the next level, you know, it's just going to be a different ball game. Things are going to be faster, obviously. Players are going to be bigger. Systems going to be different. You know, you're going to have meetings every day. I'm just giving you a little history. You know what happens at the collegiate level, but you know, it's a business. It's serious business. But you know, the most important thing is, you know, you earn some money. And you're able to, again, just use your athleticism as a vehicle to get to where you need to get to. So that's always been my model.
Right.
Also, let's talk a little bit about, you know, you broke a school record, number of, excuse me, if I'm correct here, number of touchdown passes in a single game. Is that correct?
It was the year.
Okay,
In
the year. Okay,
In the year.
Talk a little bit about that for me. And what does that mean to you, Connor Dennis? And then also to what did that mean for you to be able to break into that core group, that bona fide group of quarterbacks that have come through the Boylan system?
Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously, it's a great accomplishment. You know, something ever since I was a little kid playing in Rockford Titans program. You know, I've always went to the games. You know, watching Cooper, Croft, all those guys play, and then now me. You know, it's just kind of like, it's kind of cool.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say, yeah, it means a lot to me that I got that and to be like in the Boylan history of that. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Sure, because you know it's been a slew of ball players at the quarterback position,
especially at Boylan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean Stevie Harris, Matt Weber, Johnny Hernandez, my man. You know, just a great group of guys, man. Just some really, really bona fide players, and I'm pretty sure you're honored to be a part of that.
Yeah, for
group
sure.
of elite quarterbacks that have come through that BHS system. So, you guys got a pretty big game coming up against the E-Rabs. What are some of the things that you want to come out and do to establish yourselves in week one?
I would say establishing the run game for sure. I mean, teams are going to think we're just going to come out and just throw the ball every play, you know, because of the seasons, you know, what we did last year through the air. So I would say establishing the run game and not focusing as much as, you know, on me, let the other guys do the work. And then when I get the opportunity, you know, to air it out, that's what I'm going to do. So.
Sure. Yeah, it should be a really good game. I think East is going to be better than what a lot of other people think this year. So I know they've got some players that they've lost, but you know, hopefully they can be competitive this year.
Shout out to Auburn, man, Willie Tullen, man.
Yeah, Coach Tullen, man.
Those guys will
great guy
in that top 5 for sure.
Yeah, great guy for sure. You know, let's go a little further and continue to talk about you know, the season. I know, you know, there's some games that, you know, some players in the conference really get up for, and there's some games in the conference that you don't get up for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to say the name of those teams. I'm pretty sure anybody watching this are going to know the name of those teams. Yeah. But what what games do you have circled on your calendar, and then why do you have those games circled?
I would say North for sure. It's definitely that one.
Why North?
I mean, Boylan has not. I heard this yesterday. They have not lost to a team 3 times in a row. So that's obviously got to fire you up a little bit going into that week. So I would say North for sure. Harlem, I mean, they're always going to be a good team in every year, so they're going to give you a run. And then Hananiga, they got some guys returning who I think they're going to be a really, really good team this year for sure. So
Hano's going to be that team that's going to always be competitive in my estimation.
Every day, every game, every time
up there.
They're going to be competitive for sure. So we just got to bring it that week, every week really. But those 3 are the biggest games that's been on my mind for sure this year.
Sure. Real quick, last but not least, senior year, Connor Dennis, 3-time starter in the Nick 10 for Boylan High School. How do you want this season to end for Connor Dennis and the Boylan Titans?
I would say winning the conference would be nice. I mean, is that really our goal? I mean, yeah, it's nice if it happens, but our goal is more about the playoffs, and we look deeper. We want to play football for as long as we can. And, I would say definitely making it to that semis round would be a goal we would love to accomplish for sure. But, I mean, I would say as far as personal goals, obviously, leading the conference and passing would be nice, but I know there's going to be guys who are going to try to compete for that as well because of the season I had last year. So I just got to compete against them and keep working at it. So I would say just having a really solid year overall, and sharing the ball around with some of the guys too, like Don's coming back this year. I think he'll have a really good year.
Yeah, he's put in a lot of work during the offseason, man. He put in a lot of work. I mean, you were right there. You were his training partner. Kid put in a lot of work. It's going to be a treat to see him back out on the field this year.
Yeah, I would just say, spreading the ball out, having fun, and just being a good teammate every day.
Sure. Good answers, man. Good answers. Hey, Connor, Dennis, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Good luck this year. Stay healthy, man. Anything I can ever do for you, I'm only a phone call away, but I'm pretty sure I'll see you on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
This fall. All right. Connor Dennis, everybody. Thanks, Connor. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.